Good morning, good morning, good morning. You already know what time it is. It's another segment of life experiences with targeted individual CJBK, aka Chris James. I've learned how to really flip this whole thing into a much more empowering advantage, because especially since I have the V2K and I have 4 individuals who are transmitting their vocal or sub-vocal audio transmissions into my mind. The thing is, and it's like I have to acknowledge the fact that there's 3 types of people in this world, right? There's 3 types of people. There are the people that know and obey. There are the people that don't know and are resisting. And then you got the people that don't know and they're basically being manipulated by the ones who know and are obeying, and then they also feel like their perceptions or realities are being toyed with by the people who know and are resisting. Because when you think about it, how many people who, like, when you think about trying to break someone out of a toxic habit or something like that, how easy is it to try to tell someone, oh, you really shouldn't do this, or you should really see it this way, and it's like you're trying to actually convince someone that they're not awake enough, or they're not aware enough. Let's just say aware enough. And it's interesting because as the cells in my body become more and more sensitive to radio frequencies, electromagnetic fields, and probably almost, just charged particles in general. As my body becomes more and more sensitive to these things, I'm starting to notice the polarities of interfering electromagnetic fields. I'm starting to be able to notice the subtle thermal energy changes that happen over the layer of over my skin. As things are, occurring, especially when they're, let's say, for example, the phone, right? Your phone has a phased array. The phased array is it's a steerable beam of radiation, basically. It's steerable, right? Now, your entire phone basically has you all mapped out, because the array is like a big, it's like, think of it like the sun, and then the sun having like its own like steerable beam, or like the sun can just pick and choose how much energy it wants to shoot in whatever direction it chooses. You see the radiant energy around the sun, but what you're really hurting from is that concentrated ray of energy that's coming from it. That's what you can think. That's what you can really imagine when you think about your phones or your laptops, and just about any electronic device in your home. You can literally sense the electromagnetic field from all of your electronic devices. And the thing is, I think a lot of people struggle with when it comes to actually noticing subtle energy, is that they forget that it's subtle energy. It only doesn't become subtle when they're actually purposely trying to target you with the energy. Like when they want you to feel pain, that's usually the only times when it's not subtle anymore. It's focused, it's concentrated, it's pulsed. It basically has a heartbeat of its own. Like the energy has taken physical form within your physical form, and now it's causing you pain. It's too much energy. Your cells are only supposed to absorb or only have a certain amount of energy flowing through them. But when they take this phase, when they take these, you know, concentrated rays of light, and they're stimulating, you know, different nerves or different tissues, or not even just stimulating, but they're literally transferring data through your body, because light, through wireless energy transfer, light can transfer through human tissue, and they're transferring data through your body. And you know what's interesting? The people who don't know, right? The people who just don't know, they are walking like banks. They're basically like walking banks of information and data. And when I say walking banks, I mean because they like I've been doing quite a bit of research on this wireless energy transfer thing, and how they're using near infrared, you know, lights and biosensors to be able to decode the radiant energy or radiant data that is coming off of our bodies, to be able to understand, you know, the health of certain cells or the energy levels, and you know, whether you have toxins in your body or cancers or whatever the case. You know, I realized that they basically, I lost my train of thought for a second. I felt pressure building up on the right side of my temple. So they're purposely trying to cause interference in the neural processing of my memory right now. But so I don't know, I'll probably get back to that. But anyway, you know, it's I realize we're not that far from the bubble bursting. We're really not that far. The bubble, it's almost time. It's really almost time. And I'm not trying to be all doomsday like, or say, oh, the solar eclipse, the energy from the solar eclipse. I'm not saying that it's not, but I don't know. I don't have that type of connection with the universe for me to know that yes, there's an energy that's going to shoot out from the solar eclipse events. That's why CERN is turning on its Hadron Collider at the time of the solar eclipse. No, I don't have the information to really try to back any of that. But all I can do is just talk about my experiences mainly, and whatever stuff that, you know, I read upon and I can verify is factual through maybe some type of study. But anyway, yeah, they've been focusing a lot more on mostly my emotions. I am muscling my way through a lot of the pain and the overstimulation, and you know, I'm pretty sure I've taken in a considerable amount of damage to my brain tissue, probably kidneys, maybe intestines, lungs, throat. What else? And you know, it's interesting because they want to say right now they're like, we got you on camera smoking, and I'm like, I have it on camera too, showing them actually applying directed energy to anything that, you know, I light on fire, really. Because you know what it is? All right. Understand this, right? Let me see. Can I make it? I'm gonna make it. So, let's say I have the intention to smoke, right? Now, remember, we're talking about wireless body area network. We're talking about wireless energy transfer. We're talking about brain-computer interfaces. We're talking about digital twin technology. We're talking about the use of radio frequencies or electromagnetic fields, basically bouncing off of everything, understanding and sensing the resonant frequency of just about every object that's around. So let's say you are about to light a cigarette, right? You see, he's having a cigarette, but I bet you he doesn't have frequencies attached to his. He doesn't have frequencies running through his. Now, here's one thing I always tell people to notice, especially if you're being targeted. I'm not sure how many other people can attest this, but I'm gonna just say this. Yeah, because my next route, I gotta go kind of far. If you go to light your cigarette or something, right, or you go to light your joint, you know, I mostly smoke marijuana. When I do smoke anything, it's marijuana. And that's legal, so, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you light it, right, and then you take the first pull, right, the first pull normally should taste clean. It should taste normal, right? You light it. Oh. So I was saying that yeah, my next route, I gotta go all the way to FDR Drive. I'm all the way on the west side. But anyway, for people who are being targeted and you're experiencing wireless energy attacks, this is one thing I noticed when it comes to fire, right? Or whenever you're like trying to smoke or something like that. They want your body to absorb as much radio frequencies as possible. Why? Because the more radio frequencies you absorb, the word they use with me is the more you synchronize with their system, right? And I've actually used the chat bot from time to time to try to ask it some random questions just to see what kind of response I'm gonna get. You know, I take some of the cues that I get from the V2K and I try to form, you know, my best technological question that I can ask based on whatever information that is available to the public, and then I'd see what the chatbot will respond. And oh my goodness, I'm not gonna take that street. That street's all torn up. I normally like taking Spring straight across, but no, I'm not dealing with that. Anyway, right, so when you go to light like your joint, your cigarette, or even your pipe, whatever's your thing, and you know I'm talking about, you know, tobacco pipe. I'm not talking about the other pipe. It's usually the first 1 or 2 pulls are fine, right? And I've recorded this too. I've recorded this, and it's an old video, but it's up there. The first 1 or 2 pulls are fine, right? It tastes like it normally should taste. It even burns the way it should. It burns all around, right? All around the thing. Then after about, I'd say 3 after about like 7 to 10 seconds, all of a sudden, the very tip of what you just lit, all of a sudden takes on a weight. Like it takes on a weight, and then not only does it take on a weight, and somebody say, well, that's because you lit it, so maybe fire has some type of mass to it. No. You'll know the difference, because the weight it takes on, it has a gravitational pull to it. Like it feels like it's attached to like a string or something. And when you're holding it, you can feel at the lit end of it that something is attached to it, right? And then coming through the butt end would be the frequency. So as you inhale, right, you're absorbing frequencies into your lungs and everything. And it's not, trust me, it sounds strange, but I'm telling you, I actually have the video recording of this, and I've actually uploaded it. It's up there. It was probably less than a year ago I noticed it. But so not only that, but you can actually see that once you realize that, like, or once I realized that they attach the frequency to it, I would look at the lit end, right? I would turn the lit end facing me. One thing I would notice is that the amber, the burning part of it, is no longer burning all around slowly. Like, you know how like when a cigarette is like, or anything that you light is like, basically it burns around like the outside burns, right? But it burns kind of slow. And then even if it does burn fast, it burns fast on the outside, but it still holds firm and like strong. It'll just be this long, like kind of like thick ash, right? And most of the time it won't move, it won't fall off unless you actually flick it off or blow it off. What I realized when they attach frequencies to it, or run or channel frequencies through it, it's burning it like 5 times hotter. It's burning it 5 times hotter, and you would notice it burning hotter because it seems like the concentration of the energy is now in the dead center of it. It's in the dead center. Like, when it's lit, it's not like this circular round ember. Once they attach the frequency to it, it now becomes this like needle point, like burning. It's like needle thin. It's like it's going straight through the straight through the middle, like a laser. Yeah, this is a hill right here, so trying to talk and do this hill was a little challenging. But anyway, and right now they're saying, oh, that's the stupidest nigga I ever seen. But the thing is, it's like, I'm physically proving it though. I'm physically proving it. Only thing that I can't really prove, because I just don't have the sensing capabilities or the tracking capabilities, is to backtrack. So remember I told you, every single person, right? Every single person on the right side, like the right side of the head, if you see where my, like, where what will be your right eyebrow, you follow that up about up to where your prefrontal cortex will be, right? Hold your hand at least about 5 inches above your head. Hold your hand about 5 inches above your head and just move it slowly. Move your hand slowly above the right side of your brain where your prefrontal cortex would be at. If you feel something interestingly warm, but it's like very like it's like small, it's almost like as if like I'm telling you, it feels like it's a warm laser going through your hand. But it's not just going through your hand. That laser is connected to you. That laser, or that thermal energy that you're feeling, that is the near infrared. That is what's resonating with your body, and that's what's actually resonating with basically every nerve in your body, and giving your body commands to be overstimulated through whatever captured charged particles that they gather from your environment. Everything starts from up there. Everything starts from up there. It goes at an angle like this. It's like this. No matter where you turn, it doesn't move. It stays with you. Right now, even as I'm doing it now, I can feel it pulsing between my middle finger and my ring finger. It's going in between the two. But you know, I'm just trying my best, right? I'm no expert, but what I don't want to do is not have put in at least my effort to actually like try to express what my experiences are, because I know at some point our experiences are going to come up in the future. They're going to come up in the future, and then people are going to be like, damn, these people were telling the truth the whole time. They were telling the truth the whole time about all of this. And this guy, he was actually able to sense all these things. That's what I'm thinking to myself. You know, if they really, really, truly wanted to kill everybody, like, if we really think about it, if they truly wanted to kill everybody, they could. Sorry. They could. But you know why they're not just killing a whole bunch of people? I mean, of course, they had to use C word in order to, you know, get like some of those numbers down. But for the most part, they can't just kill a whole bunch of people off because, cobblestone. Because they have to make sure it looks natural, or it looks like a controlled demolition of a sort. So let me see. What else? I felt like I just heard somebody say, "You mad disrespectful to people. A lot of people notice you snitching on people." I don't know. But here's the thing, right? Everyone who's a whistleblower or a truther knows this. If that person is crazy and that person said that they are not suicidal, and that people are trying to do stuff to them because they came across some information that could actually help millions, if not billions of people. But then now all of a sudden, ever since they came across that information, there's a whole group of, there's not a group, there's a populace of people that want to snuff out the light of this person that's trying to put some truth out there. Like the information that most people lack in energy, knowing like so many, like man, if it wasn't until I became targeted that I began to understand, that I began to understand how like energy is like everywhere, and it's like, I don't know, it's insane. But now I understand why there's like all these like secret societies, and they're all like keeping all this knowledge to themselves to basically manipulate people who just lack the knowledge. When you lack information, it's easy to control someone when you don't have information. Alright. Let me go ahead and I'm trying to remember. Is it 150? Alright. Anyway, yeah, it's the whole lacking of information that makes people more controllable. And then once you come across that information, now they want you to either be a part of them or you're gonna die. Why? Because you're trying to throw a monkey wrench in their whole system. You're trying to throw, you're trying to loosen up the bolts. You're trying to disrupt whatever that they have already going. But here's the thing though, why does it always seem like at some point in life, the truth always has to come out eventually? Eventually the truth must always come out. No matter how much people try to suppress the truth eventually has to come out. It has to come out. But alright, let me go ahead and finish up because I need to find out where am I delivering to. So alright, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.